Good afternoon, everyone. It's April the 28th. It's a little after 6 o'clock, and it's my pleasure to be here again tonight to give you another briefing on COVID-19 and what's happening in Murfreesboro. It's been exactly 5 weeks to the day that we put our first order in place where the city of Murfreesboro started going through and working through this crisis. So I want to really say thanks to City TV3. I want to say thanks to WGNS, to all of our city team, to everyone who's been working in Rutherford County, and especially the residents, to say thank you for what you've been doing. And I want to start out by saying I know you're frustrated. I'm frustrated as well. We had a presentation that we were planning on preparing, and as late as 30 minutes ago, we were sitting here changing what we were going to show you because things changed and we got new information. So I want you to know that I think everyone at the different levels of government are doing the best that they possibly can. It's just that things are changing so rapidly that we're having to adjust as quickly as we possibly can. So I understand your frustration. I've talked with numerous business owners over the last 2 days. I've talked with people on Saturday morning, just going through where people are in confusion and don't understand exactly what's happening, what's going on with their businesses. People are still scared, and I understand that. So that's one of the reasons that we're going to continue to do this, to do everything we can to let you know. On a humorous note, it is almost 7 weeks since I've had my hair cut. So I am continuing to rock the mullet as best as I can. But I did get someone who sent me a post on social media saying that they wanted to ask about elected officials who are getting their hair cut. So I did send them a picture of the back of my hair, letting them know that I had not been getting my hair cut. So have to be a little humor in all this as we go too. The state of Tennessee has 10,082 confirmed cases statewide, 10,052 confirmed cases statewide. There's 160,928 people who've been tested, so that's 6.2% of the people statewide who have been tested positive. 4,921 out of that 10,000 have recovered. That's almost a 50% rate that have recovered since they've been tested. In Rutherford County today, we had 434 total positive tests. That's been since the inception back in the 1st of April. That is an increase of 11 from yesterday. The numbers that we're still continuing to see is roughly a 2%, 1 to 2% increase each day, and that's something that stayed pretty steady across the board. Okay, instead of going on to facts and figures, I really want to go over tonight what I think everyone is really wanting to know. I told you last week that we had been working on a 3-phase plan on a Safer at Home reopening guide for Murfreesboro. We've gotten that. We've gotten information from the state, so I want to be able to go over all of the information. And the governor issued Executive Order 30 this afternoon, and I want to be able to go item by item over that order just to let each person know. I mean, a lot of people are not going to read through a 7 or 8 page order, but I want to give you bullet points on the Tennessee Pledge and also the executive order that was just issued today. I was talking with Mary Esther Reed, the mayor of Smyrna, and being type A personalities and being mayors, we're used to when we see a problem, when we see something that needs to be fixed, we fix it right then. So we're in a different situation for us as well because we're waiting for guidance. And as that guidance is pushed down from the state level to the local level, it's then our responsibility to be able to enact that and be able to make sure that the residents of Murfreesboro do the best that they can to follow that. So I want to make sure that everyone knows, again, I've gone over this throughout my briefings that we've done. There are 6 counties in Tennessee. You have Davidson County, Hamilton County, Knox County, Madison County, Shelby County, and Sullivan County that are metro health departments. So all of these executive orders that the governor issues are for 89 counties, excluding those counties, because those counties who have metro health departments can do really whatever they want. That's why you see Nashville doing different guidelines. You see Hamilton County doing different guidelines, Knox County doing different guidelines. And the governor, I watch his briefings just like you do. That's where I get a lot of my information. They, say they're working together, but I want to make it clear, the people who, and I appreciate your emails, we do not have the authority to be able to open businesses outside of what the state tells us that we can open. So I think that's why it's important that I want you to be able to understand what was just released. So let's go through this together. That way, if there's any questions, I will answer those questions while we're here live. I'll stay here as long as you want me to. I don't think John and Marcus want to stay here till midnight, but we'll do all we can to get everything answered. So, okay. First thing, this executive order was issued tonight, April 28th. For individuals, the state's still saying maintain at least 6 feet of distance from other persons. So those things have really not changed. As you issue executive orders, those executive orders will preempt the other executive orders that have been sent out. So the first thing that really I think that's important for everyone to understand: social gatherings of 10 or more remain prohibited. Persons in the state of Tennessee shall not participate in social or recreational gatherings of 10 or more people. Social and recreational gatherings include, but are not limited to, festivals, fairs, parades, youth and adult sporting events, overnight summer youth camps, and other types of social or recreational assemblies or gatherings. So what does that mean? That means ball leagues, softball leagues, outdoor movies, all those things are still prohibited in the governor's order. Places of worship, weddings, and funerals. These services, rites, or gatherings, weddings, and funerals are not social gatherings under paragraph 2. So that means that those things are permitted, but places of worship are strongly encouraged to continue to utilize virtual or online services and gatherings, and strongly encouraged to follow guidelines to be issued by the governor's office of faith-based and community initiatives regarding any in-person services that can be conducted safely. So what that means is those are highly recommended not to happen, and we should get more information later on that. Okay, nursing homes and similar facilities are still closed to visitors. Persons shall not visit nursing homes, retirement homes, long care facilities, or assisted living facilities except to provide critical assistance or visiting residents receiving imminent end-of-life care, provided such visits may be accomplished without unreasonable risk to other residents or staff. That has not changed. All right, here's the part where I think people are extremely interested in. Businesses or organizations that perform close contact personal services shall, for the time being, continue to be closed to members or the public. Such businesses or organizations include barbershops, hair salons, waxing salons, threading salons, nail salons or spas, spas providing body treatments, which I assume is massage therapy, body art facilities or tattoo services, tanning salons or massage therapy establishments or massage services. Entertainment, recreation, and certain other gathering venues shall, for the time being, continue to be closed to members of the public. Such venues include, all right, so let's go back, barbershops, hair salons, waxing salons, threading salons, nail salons, spas, body art facility or tattoo services, tanning salons, or massage therapy establishments or massage services. So by the state, those are still closed. I want to make sure everyone knows that. And that's, again, I'll go over our Safer at Home initial reopening guide that we have, but the state is over the city. So those are still remaining closed. Bars, nightclubs, and live performance venues, provided that limited service restaurants are defined in Tennessee Code annotated 57-4-102. What that really means when you look at that TCA code is that the majority of your business is food sales, not alcohol sales. That means that you can be open unless you're defined as manufacturing. That means if you have a bar and you are your predominant sales are alcohol, you're not considered a restaurant and you're not able to open. And that's by TCA 57-4-102. Now with that, there are other areas that have been still specifically labeled that they cannot opening: bowling alleys, arcades, concert venues, sporting event venues, theaters, auditoriums, performing arts centers, or similar facilities, racetracks, indoor children's play areas, adult entertainment venues, amusement parks, senior centers or equivalent facilities, roller or ice skating rinks still cannot be open. All right, local orders. So those are the items, the areas that under Executive Order 30 by the governor cannot be open. No local orders permitted regarding, here's another one that I think people have asked about. No local orders permitted regarding dental or medical procedures in order to ensure a comprehensive approach to the measures needed to conserve PPE, personal protective equipment, which is an issue that is statewide in scale. No local official or local governmental entity shall issue an order or measure regarding the provision of medical, dental, or oral procedure because of COVID-19, absent authority delegated by the governor. What we feel like that means is that dental is not able to be opened up. Now, we're still working on getting guidance on that because day before yesterday, the governor announced that medical elective procedures could open up on Friday. So we still will get information back on that. Again, this just came out. And then it basically says local orders in 6 counties with locally run county health departments: Davidson, Hamilton, Knox, Madison, Shelby, and Sullivan. These 6 locally run county health departments shall have the authority to issue additional orders or measures related to containment or management of the spread of COVID-19, which may permit to a greater degree or restrict to a greater degree the opening, closure, or operation of businesses, organizations, or venues in those counties, which basically means those 6 counties can do different things than the 89 of us can. Okay, gyms. This was announced today. The Economic Recovery Group releases reopening guidance for gyms. The gyms are able to be open on Monday, but the gyms have to have the facility has to be restricted to staffed hours only, i.e. any unmanned facilities must be manned. So in other words, if you have your apartment complex, you've got a fitness facility that is open without it being staffed, that cannot happen. So all gyms or fitness facilities have to be manned. The facility or occupancy has to be limited to 50% of capacity as dictated by the fire code. Your owners of all the gyms know what their fire code is. It has to be posted in their building. Their restricted capacity has to be 50%. Gym owners, most everyone works off of computer check-ins. Please make sure that you follow that guideline of 50% less than occupancy. Mitigate exposure in the workplace by implementing social distancing guidelines and modify scheduling. Staff to conduct regular, i.e. every 2 hours, disinfecting of high-touch surfaces or equipment. The showers, locker rooms, and lockers are closed until further notice. All swimming pools are closed. Hot tubs and saunas and other recreational water and spa facilities are closed. Basketball courts, racquetball courts, and other places where formal and informal group or team sports may occur is closed. This is not really pursuant to gyms, but it's listed in the order. Any youth or adult team leagues or sports should remain closed. Only allow group fitness classes if classes can be completed in accordance with social distance recommendations. They also have to be at less than 50%. No shared equipment during the class. Encourage all employees and customers to wear PPE or masks where applicable, and recommend that customers also wear face coverings. Adjust equipment layout and close or restrict access to equipment to maintain at least 6 feet of distance between equipment. Water fountains should be closed. Common areas, break rooms, check-in counters where customers or employees may congregate. Encourage users to provide their own water. No self-service options, coffee bars, smoothie stations, or other forms of communal food in facilities. Ensure that staffing of facilities is sufficient to enable enhanced sanitation. Then there's also some consumer protection about best practices for temperature checks, questions asked about COVID-19 symptoms, keeping doors and windows open where possible to improve ventilation, post signs encouraging social distancing visible to customers, require that customers wash or sanitize their hands upon entering or leaving the facilities. Require customers to clean equipment as they come in, encourage customers, I thought this was funny just from working out, encourage customers to use only one piece of equipment at a time, i.e. no circuits or supersetting. So if you're doing that max set or supersetting, you can't do it. Strictly prohibited. Or circuits. All right. Now, the city of Murfreesboro, and I will go back and go through all these questions. I'm really going to spend more time tonight answering questions than I am just going over information. The city of Murfreesboro also, we did our own Safer at Home initial reopening guide. I talked to y'all about it last week. We have made the decision that I'm not going to release, and this is with staff. I tell people what's the best way or when I speak to students, I joke and I say, if you see a turtle on top of a fence post, what do you know? That turtle had help to get up there. I want the staff to know how much I appreciate them, and I want the residents to know how proud that if you were behind the scenes working with staff, that you would be so proud and honored at the work that they do. And they're making adjustments. They're doing things as quick as they possibly can and as thorough as they possibly can. So I want to let y'all know I appreciate everything that you're doing. We did our own Safer at Home initial reopening guide, and it really goes on our first page, John. We've got things that we've gone through to show restaurants and retail establishments, gyms and fitness centers, healthcare offices, churches, mass gathering facilities. Those things have been opened, and then there's guidance on to residents, restaurants and food service establishments, retail and commercial stores, gym and fitness centers, where you can see all of those things. We've put those together to make sure that everyone's working off of the same page, and it's something that you can see, that it's very easy that you can take a look at. These will be released tonight. They'll be up on our website. They'll be on our social media pages. And you also have a really concise cover page that gives you everything that you need to know. Again, it also says hair and nail salons, tattoo parlors, massage therapy clinics have not been mentioned, and no reopening has been established at this time. Bars, taverns, saloons, and nightclubs will not be reopened at this time. When each business type is recommended to be reopened and associated guidelines are issued, we are going to get that information out to you. I want to make sure and be very clear that we want to get this information out to you as soon as we get it. And the minute that we get these, I will be back here sitting in this seat and pushing this message out to you to make sure that everyone in the city of Murfreesboro has that message. We're committed to making sure that we do that to you. Other noteworthy components of the city's initial reopening plans, there's some child care guidance in there, manufacturing and warehousing, and also our city parks and recreation plan. I want to say a special thank you to our Parks and Rec staff, Becky Johnson, Angela Jackson. I had 2 people from Murfreesboro Medical Clinic who were needing help finding child care for their kids because they're considered essential workers. We had an emergency child care plan in place where we worked with local churches, but Becky took the time to call around to daycares to help find people child care for their kids. And I mean, that's the type of staff that the city of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County has that are working through, not just to sit up here and tell you here's what the guidelines. We're doing everything we can to be able to help, and I want to tell Becky and Angela, thank you for going that extra mile. I want to show you our Parks and Recreation plan that we've put in place. We've had a lot of people who've asked about that. We have put in place a 3-phase Parks and Recreation reopening plan. John, if you'll, there you go. John's going to put this on the screen for us. This this reopening plan for our Parks and Recreation Department is going to be in conjunction with whatever information we get from the state, and also it's going to be in conjunction with the President's Reopening America plan. This will be pushed out today as well, but you'll see all of our facilities that will be listed on there, and then you'll see phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. All of those phase 1 phase 1 items will be where we are right now. Phase 2 will come along once we get a little more guidance on gating and reoccurrence, and then phase 3 is hopefully where we all get moving forward. But all of these are listed for Greenways, Sports Common, Patterson. You'll see those, the Adams Tennis Complex, McFadden Center, St. Clair, Bradley, Cannonsburg, and the Wilderness Station. Sports complexes, playgrounds will remain closed, pavilions will remain closed, outdoor public restrooms are open with strict sanitizing procedures, and our dog parks are going to remain closed. So we will, instead of going over each one of these individual items, we will be pushing all of this out to you. All right, that's all the information I have right now. Executive Order 30 is the main thing I wanted to go over with you, our reopening guides that we have, and then I will take, I'm going to go through and look at questions that have been sent to us so we can get those out to you. All right, let's see. Again, I want to make sure and reemphasize something that we will continue to say. If you are in one of the protected groups, that you are immunocompromised or you're elderly, the best place you can be is to stay at home if you don't have to get out. Again, we have things that we've put in place to help with services. So if you need help, you need to let us know. smcfarland@murfreesborotn.gov. If you need something, I'll do my absolute best to get information to you or to get help to you. But if you are in those protected groups, the absolute best thing that you can do is still stay at home. Now, going through, we've got 434 total positive cases. Our population is roughly 350,000. So we are still at 0.01% of where our total population. So I think our community has handled things very well. There's not fear out there. I'm out in the community daily. Went to get groceries on Sunday morning, and people are wearing masks. I went to a local grocery store that I go to, and people have put directional signs on the floor to make sure that people are going the right direction. So I think people are adjusting. But if you're in that protected group, you need to stay at home. Darlene, how long are these restrictions in place? I don't know. When I wish that there was an answer, and that's one of the things as mayors that we wish we knew and we could tell you, but I really don't know why all these rules regarding gyms, there are no enforcement. That's a good question. Can you please provide more details on how ophthalmology and optometry is allowed to operate, Dr. Garrett? Dr. Garrett, I don't know why ophthalmology and optometry has been allowed to operate and dental has not, but if you'll send me an email, smcfarland@murfreesborotn.gov, I will find that out for you. So will the tanning bed be closed in the gyms? Yes, they will be. That's my understanding. Hey, Kroger on Middle Tennessee has had toilet paper for 3 weeks, so there is a silver lining, literally. I'm curious about movie theaters. Not that there's anything I want to see, but I'm curious. Those are closed for right now, Christopher. Those will still remain closed and are in a specific category. Is the 434 cases active cases? No, they are not. That is how many people have tested positive over the course of the testing so far. So I think the number in Rutherford County is, and I don't have the number from today, but it's over 200 some odd that have recovered. Let's see. I'm trying to go through. I want to do everything I can to get these answered. Are there tentative dates when you received information from Kara? I didn't get all that. If you want to post it again. Let me go from the state. So Kara's question was, are there tentative dates when you received information from the state? No, this Executive Order 30 we got emailed this afternoon. So, and this had a lot of information in it. Cross-contamination search or closed. Lauren, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Milton, I want to make sure your comment, it says thanks for nothing. Let me get back here. I'm having trouble keeping up with all these. There's so many that are populating in. Let me get back. I've lost the thread here, but it basically says that Knox County is opening up. Again, Knox County is one of the 6 metro counties that can do what they want to do. We are one of the 89 counties that answer to the state, so the state makes that determination. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are one of 89 that answer to the state guidance, and I'm going to get all the information that I possibly can to you as quickly as I can. And look, Milton, I understand where you are. Your business is your livelihood. Your business is your lifeline. So I'm sympathetic, and I understand where you are, brother. I don't want. There's not anything that I would want to say that we have to shut down Murfreesboro businesses. That's not something I ever wanted to do. So I understand you being upset. What's phase 4? A fireworks show? I hope so. Let's see. I'm trying to go through. How are these orders and guides monitored? I think that's, Miles, that's a good question. They're pushed down to the local level for us to be able to do everything we can. So that's a good question. I don't think they're, I think we need everyone to do the right thing, and we need everyone to try to honor as best as they can. Can you let us see, Carrie, your question came back. Can you let us know if you get a tentative timeline for updates from the state? I'm sorry, Carrie, it's going so, these questions are coming so fast, it's hard for me to post it again, and I will see if I can go through. I'm trying to, Executive Order 30, dental, as of now, latest order regarding dental expires tomorrow night at midnight, and then we can open, but that could change between now and tomorrow night. Lisa, I'm not, that is not what's in the order as far as expiring, but if you'll email me, smcfarland@murfreesborotn.gov, I will find out. When will you, Mayor McFarland, apply to become our own metro government so we can make our open, righteous decisions? I don't see that happening anytime soon, but you never say never. Let's see. Let me go through this. When will stores be allowed to go back to normal hours, or is that up to them? That's going to be up to them, Ken, because there's not been anything. There's not been any time limits put on stores because they've been considered essential. Okay, let me go through this. Senior livings, Joy, that's a good question. Senior livings facilities have still been, senior living facilities are still being mandated in this Executive 30 that they're being closed to the public, unless it's a end-of-life situation. Okay. Gyms, Pat, gyms are opening on Friday, and if you go back and see other things, they're opening on May 1st. You can see the guidance that we have on there. That will also be on our website. Tiffany is put that on there. Let's see. Mark, the Greenway is open. It's not been closed the entire time. The Greenway is one of the better places you can go to be able to social distance. So that is, Kara, I'm going to catch it now. Do you receive a tentative timeline for receiving info from the state? We don't. We get that at unless we get an email for a conference call, we get that at 2 o'clock like everyone else does. Now, that's not to say that, there's different organizations that we're all part of. The Rutherford County Mayor's Caucus, the Middle Tennessee Mayor's Caucus, we have GNAR, we've got several different places that are TML that are pushing information out to us, but we don't have anything on a tentative timeline where we're getting information pushed. Ben Jameson, I'm just reading you on Executive Order 30. Let me read you again what I have here, and I will clarify this for all dentists, but local orders, it just says no local orders permitted regarding dental or medical procedures in order to ensure a comprehensive approach to the measures needed to conserve personal protective equipment, which is an issue that is statewide in scale. No local official or local government entity shall issue an order or measure regarding the provision of medical, dental, or oral procedures. So I'll find out. And that may be, I was under the understanding that as of Friday that medical procedures were allowed to be open, but I will find that out. So if you're a dentist, I will absolutely find that out for you if I can tonight. Randy, are you encouraging everyone to wear masks in public? Yes. Winter hair salons are open. Darlene, I wish I could tell you. Churches reopening. Christopher, churches have not been closed. They've been considered essential, but it is prohibited to have gatherings of 10, although churches are precluded from that. But everyone in this order, it is still saying that it's highly recommended to be able to have have virtual gatherings. Let's see. Okay, trying to keep up with all these. Retail is open as of tomorrow at 50% capacity. Those guidelines are already on the website, so they are going to be open tomorrow. Youth baseball practice is allowed. Chrissy, I wish. I'm a baseball coach, so no, they are not allowed. They are prohibited specifically in this order. That is correct, Ginger, that you had on here. Salons are to stay closed through May 29th. I've not seen that. No, Cassie, I've not seen anything that said that you have to close. Milton just put on here, State Board said they are allowing barbers to do house calls. I hope that's the case. I will absolutely find that out. John's smiling, but I really would like to get a haircut. Let's see. Darcy. Okay, folks, I think that's everything. So should I get a gym membership and try to be in shape since I cannot work, don't have the money to feed myself? I understand where you are, Beatrice. Tom, any word on how much positive numbers have to go up before we are ordered to close? Tom, there's not anything in that gating facility we've seen so far, but that is something that will come back from the president, I would assume. Kids gymnastic facilities, there are in the executive order that we've got gyms and let me go here, go back to those are my understanding. Now, this is what is coming off of this order. So if you have a question, please email me, smcfarland@murfreesborotn.gov, and I'll do my best to get you the answer. But it just says that bowling alleys, arcades, concert venues, sporting event venues, theaters, auditoriums, performing arts centers, racetrack, indoor children's play areas are closed or to remain closed. So that is something that is still to remain closed. Let's see. No organized youth sport activities or businesses allowed to open. That's correct, Jill. Please clarify dental offices. I will find out on dental offices for Friday. I'll find out. If I can't find out tonight, I'll find that out tomorrow. And if I need to do something really quick, we'll get that posted out. All right, I'm going to do this for a couple more minutes. Scott Broden, I never thought Scott Broden would be on one of these asking the question, what does the city plan to do to help local businesses recover from the current economic conditions? Scott, that's a good question. I mean, one of the things that we're doing is any ordinances that were suspended, we're going to continue to keep those suspended. You heard me say this on the last session, that clearly we've made it, for 5 or 6 weeks without those ordinances in place. So I think that just goes to show that we can make without or do it without them. And that's one of the things that we've talked about as a staff, and I'm proud of the staff that we're going to do everything that we possibly can to be able to be leaner, to be able to help our businesses, to be able to help as things come through City Hall. And we're looking at economic recovery, but that's something that, we're going to work through. I mean, the mayor in Nashville, I read an article today, is proposing a 30+% tax hike based on, some of the things that are going to be coming across. And like I told you guys the last briefing, we're not going to do borrowings for 2020. We're not going to do borrowings tentatively for 2021. And we're going to do everything we can to be fiscally conservative to make sure that we manage the city the way that we've managed it in the past. Let's see. All right, so here's what I want to ask. If I find any help for businesses who can't find hand sanitizer or similar things to keep customers safe, Brian, I will find out on that. So the things that I will, can we at least have access to the fields at Siegel Soccer Park? Karen, I wish we could do that. We've got lots of grass areas that are behind the city that if you'll email me, or that are around the city that I can give you. I don't think we can open up Siegel Park just because we don't have the ability to be able to monitor that right now. But I mean, there's a great area behind First Methodist Church that's got some goals that you can go kick around. That's city property that you can go use. So there's lots of areas around, but I don't see Siegel Park being opened up. Tony, again, I don't think anyone wants to kill the economy. That's not what I can't speak for anyone else besides me, and that's not what we're wanting to do. Barbara, when I say tax raise, that was not the city of Murfreesboro. All right, folks, I tell you what I'll do on maybe the next one or two that we do is I'll just stay on here and answer questions. We try to keep these to 30 minutes, but I may come as we get more information. What about music lesson facilities or rehearsal facilities? Those have not had guidance, Shane. I've not seen any guidance on that. So I want to thank everyone for all this. The hiking trails are allowed. Those are open. So you're welcome to go find out. When you find out businesses can get sanitation products to follow city guidelines, I absolutely will let you know. So the things that I'm going to find out about to get back to you, I'm going to find out on dental facilities, and I'll find out a way that maybe that we can get together as a county and as a city and have the opportunity to be able to push out hand sanitizer and those things. I know Jason Ayer with Veterans Pressure Washing did that the other day. So thank you for that, Jason. He actually gave away he gave away those same things. So I'm going to do best with City TV3. We're going to do the best to get information out to you as soon as we get it. That's our promise. When we get it, you're going to get it. Again, I tried the best we can to make sure and keep you updated. And Jessica, I don't know when salons are going to open. Right now, they're still being closed. So as soon as I find out, I will let you know whenever we get that. So thank you everyone for watching. I greatly appreciate the input, and we're going to do everything we can to get through this. We're still working hard. We're going to push through it, and Murfreesboro continue to stay strong. So thank you so much, and be blessed.